Hey guys, it's Alaija aka Kingdom Babe here, and welcome back to the Kingdom Babe Show. First of all, what's up? I haven't made videos in like a while, and it's okay. Life kicked in and I had to take a little bit of a break. It's good to be back. With that being said, I feel like I should do a little bit of an update on what's been going on, how I'm doing, and you know, stuff like that. So the last few weeks have been they've been something. God is good. So either way, I'm still here. God is still working in my life, and he's still making a way for things to take place. He's still taking care of me, and this should be the evidence behind the smile you guys can see, behind the glow on my face. So thing number one, I am in a different location, and I'm pretty sure that if you've been watching the show, you can tell. I'm not in my regular space that I used to record in. So long story short, the Kingdom Babe is getting a Kingdom Babe studio. Yeah, I know, it's insane. Like, I couldn't have asked for it. Well, I really didn't ask for it, but I did. I prayed for it, so I guess that is asking for it. The Kingdom Babe is getting her own studio to record in, and I'm actually here now. However, it's not completely done yet, so we're kind of just faking it till we make it. That's why we got this little cute background here. But it's all good in the hood, because like I said, it's gonna be lit, and I'll actually make a video showing you guys the process. I'm gonna do a little bit of a decorate with me kind of situation, something you guys can kind of see how it went from one thing to the next. But yeah, I had a post on Instagram about it, sharing that I am getting a studio now, that I'm gonna have my own recording area, thanks to my boyfriend Nacho, who is the greatest dude in the world, like aka my best friend, aka the home skillet, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just the greatest. And it was kind of his idea, and he's kind of doing a lot, or directing a lot of the reconstructing, re-innovating of the room, taking things out, bringing things in, painting, fixing the door. And stuff like that. So I give all glory to God, of course, but I thank God for him, because he has been a blessing to me in this, and he really supports everything I do as far as being the Kingdom Babe, doing the Kingdom Babe Show, and just kind of following in the footsteps of Christ. He really pushes me in that direction a lot, and he really pushes me to pursue my dreams, even if it means that my dreams are now his dreams, which is the funniest thing in the world. It's hilarious. He's like one of the best things that happened to me ever. So that's the first thing. I will be showing you, like I said, later on. I'll probably make my own episode about it. I'm kind of making it like a studio for working and recording, but also like a chill hang spot, something where I can be somewhere where I can be comfortable and enjoy myself, but also somewhere I can utilize the space to record and make videos for you guys. So that's the first thing on my things I need to tell you list. I guess I should just go in order as to how everything kind of happened. So I found out I was getting my Kingdom Babe studio, which was the greatest thing I've heard in a long time, because I really needed that space. And then I think like a week or two later, I lost my great-grandfather, Paco, and it hit me a little harder than I expected. My great-grandfather was 94 years old. He's goals, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be like him. I'm trying to be like 94, 95, you know? I mean, I felt like the older he was, the easier it would be for me to allow that transition to happen, but it wasn't. It was really hard. It was really something to where I was like, he inspired me in so many different ways that he probably doesn't even know. I want to leave the kind of legacy on my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren one day, that they decide to take a different path in life because of me, because of who I was, who I am, and who I will be. You know, God gives and he takes away, and it was his time to go back with the Lord, and I'm really, like I said, it was harder for me to take than I thought, and I feel like sometimes I try to prevent myself from experiencing a season of mourning, because I feel like, oh, I'll be all right, you know, listen, I understood he was sick or she was sick or they, it was their time. We understand that these things happen, but understanding also that I'm a human and the loss of anything or anyone sometimes, no matter how easy you think it's gonna be, is still something you need to take time to recuperate from. So heads up, and a little piece of advice, trying to work yourself to death is gonna make it worse. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's just not a good idea. I promise you, if you have someone that passed away in your family, whether it be a friend, relative, parent, anything, take that time off and don't let nobody make you feel bad for doing so. Your money will make itself later on. That moment will never come in your life again. That moment when you initially lose someone or something, it's never gonna happen again. You'll reflect on it from then on out, but take that time to understand how important it is to just be still in that moment, in that season of your life, just to be still and kind of embrace what's happening or what's going on. Death is a huge change, so don't treat it lightly, but also do not be afraid of it. Do not be scared by the fact that death comes and death is not your ruler, God is. Jesus beat death, and it is what it is. We're all good here. So just a piece of advice. The next thing that happened was my brother's basketball team won the TOC, which is the Tournament of Champions. And I think it was the last one ever. If I'm not mistaken, I'm hearing that it was like the last one ever. They're not having it next year. They're not doing it at the year next after that. You know what I'm saying? The year after that. But I don't know if that's completely true or not. I think it is. Everybody's saying that it was the last one. So if it is the last one, I think that is an awesome way to go out with a bang, be the winner of that. They won, they're the champions, and they are the best in the state. Yeah, they're the best in the state. So congratulations to my brother and his team, Roseville Catholic. Y'all deserve it. Another update. Last time I talked to you guys, I was kind of just starting my embarkment on this whole K7ngdom Babe Show journey, and actually got some really good feedback. At the time when I found out the news, it was only about 3 weeks into the show being on air, and I found out that there was 1.3 million viewers of the K7ngdom Babe Show, and that's insane. Are you kidding me? 1.3 million viewers? Are you kidding me? That is insane. I can't believe it. I didn't go into this thinking that it would happen like that or that would happen that fast, but that is insane. I'm so grateful and thankful for the outcome and you guys' support, and you're watching the K7ngdom Babe Show, because I'm gonna be real with you, I was just doing stuff hey, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. At the end of the day, I love Jesus, and that's all y'all need to know. That's it. But if you guys are just out there supporting and showing your love and support, I'm more than happy and accepting it all. I take all the love. I take all the love. And I can only give God the glory and the praise for that, because God shows up and he shows out on our behalf, especially when we put our situations, our wishes, our desires in his hands, and our works, our dreams in his hands, and we trust that he's going to take care of us. He does. And this is a clear, perfect example of how God shows up and shows out, especially for his people. When people are dedicating their lives to him, it's not for no reason. God will show up for you. He's going to show out for you. And it might not make sense, but it doesn't need to make sense. All you need to understand is that God got your back, and that's all you need in this world of chaos. I'm trying to tell you. One of the last things I want to talk about was, I don't know if you can tell, but okay. Another thing that I want to share with you guys is, I don't know if you can see it, but I am wearing a K7ngdom Babe sweatshirt. Hold on, I'm gonna show you the back too, because it has something on the back. That is the K7ngdom Babe's signature verse. So yeah, I'm wearing a K7ngdom Babe sweatshirt. Where did I get it from? Well, another super duper surprise is that the K7ngdom Babe is coming out with her own merch. Now, if you've been following me on Instagram, this is not really a surprise. It's kind of like, girl, where you been? Because you said and then you never showed up, you never delivered, so what you doing? But in reality, I said about, I think this time last year, that I was coming out with my own merch for the K7ngdom Babe, and then life took place, and yeah, it didn't happen. And it kind of just got sidebarred really hard by life, and I just wasn't able to get to it. I will be having my own Kingdom Babe store. It's an online store. It'll be an online store, of course. But I will be having my own Kingdom Babe merch, so you guys can buy it, you guys can wear it, you can represent it. And I know I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now because it's still kind of chilly, and I'm like a really heavy sweatshirt person, so I have a lot of sweatshirts. I have a lot more of the Kingdom Babe merch in general, which also I might make a video of the things I bought so far and things I've tried out so far, and kind of just do a try on haul for you guys. But that's just a thought right now. We'll see what happens later on. But yes, the Kingdom Babe is getting her own merch. It's something I've been working on for a long time and trying to make happen for a long time, but it's just not, it wasn't time at the time, if you know what I mean. Like, I wasn't ready to embark on that yet. And I was talking about having merch before I even found out I was gonna have a show. That's just another exciting thing, and I can't wait for you guys to see it, get it, wear it, rep it, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different designs, a lot of different colors and things I have going on, so I really can't wait for you guys to see that. And like I said, I'm not gonna give any specific dates because that's what I messed myself up on last time, is giving a specific date that I was gonna do everything, and then when it didn't happen, I felt like I failed because I couldn't meet the expectations I set for myself. And in reality, of course, life happens, things take place, you can't always deliver the way you thought you were going to, but I will do better this time with pacing myself, and hopefully I do get to put my merchandise out there for you guys to be able to buy as well, wear it, show it off, represent, be a Kingdom Babe as well. And yeah, I can only say that this season of my life has been one for the books. It's been one of those seasons where I cried super hard and I rejoiced even harder. Like, it was one of those, like, it wasn't all bad, but it wasn't all good. You know what I mean? It was just one of those seasons in my life. And it's funny because of the time of year that it is also naturally a turning of season. And it's going from winter to spring. Now, I don't know what y'all got going on in Jamaica. I don't know if it's like summer all year long. That's what it looks like on TV. So I'm gonna be real with you. Bear with me, okay? But here in Jersey, you can tell when the seasons are changing because, honey, there's leaves one minute and there's no leaves the next. There's snow falling, there's hail, there's ice, there's thunderstorms, bugs and animals all over the place, and then they're hiding in the next moment. And it's just like, it's so much of a drastic change throughout the year here in New Jersey. And I have been the type of person that has admired that a lot from when I was like this big to this very moment in my life. Whenever the seasons change, whether it be from winter to spring to summer to fall, I'm always just like in such admiration, just staring out the window, looking at the leaves change colors and fall off the trees, and watching the snow fall, and then watching the rebudding of everything, the revival of everything. Being able to understand that seasons have to take place. And I believe this past season of my life, I got to hone in on that a little bit more, is understanding that seasons come and go. Certain things take place, certain things happen, and sometimes it has nothing to do with you. I take things kind of personal sometimes because I think I did something wrong. They say it's a time and a place for everything, right? There's two instances where seasons can be kind of confusing for us. Number one being when we're trying to do something and it's not the right time, so it's not actually working, and we're like, what's going on? But we don't realize that it's actually the wrong timing, the wrong season. It's not time for that to happen yet, so that's why it's not working. The second instance is when it is time and there's things coming up against you, because when your time comes, best believe it's gonna happen like never before. And it's not just gonna happen, but God's going to make it happen. And so, you know, here comes the devil. He's always gonna be in the way. He wants to make it feel like it's harder to do, or you're not fit for it, or it's something that you can't do or you can't handle. And that's something I've been learning lately, is that it's all about speaking to God. God is the master of seasons, okay? Let me tell you something. When he put this all together, I was like, you did your thing. Because, honey, I could have never thought of having a spring, a winter, a fall, a sunrise and a sunset, a moon, some stars. I would have never, I was like, you know, we could just sit right here. We could just chill out, you know. This would be nice for like the next eternity or whatever. Like, for instance, my Kingdom Babe merch situation. Clearly that wasn't the time. It was not the season for me to release or open up that door in my life, and no matter how hard I went for it, no matter how I tried to put everything in place, no matter how good it looked like it was going to be, if it wasn't my season, it wasn't going to happen, and it didn't. God had other things planned for me, and that's what happened. The other things took place. And I'm not saying the other things were bad, because I'm actually kind of grateful those things happened. We make plans, right? Thinking that we know what's up, we know what's better, we know what's good. And in reality, God already has a set plan for us. Of course, it's not saying that what you desire is less important. What you desire is never gonna happen. What you desire is something that isn't great enough. But sometimes it's our timing, sometimes our reasoning doesn't match up with God's will for our lives. I thought I was setting myself up to be successful and opening an online store, becoming a business owner, because believe me, during this pandemic, everybody became a business owner, everybody became an entrepreneur, everybody became a self-employed individual, making all this money by themselves. So of course I'm like, oh, let me do it too. And God was like, not really, I have something else for you. So let's try that instead. And so I had to let him, because it wasn't time. Of course, I would have loved to have my store open up last year, but God had other things planned. When I say, God, let your will be done, that's what I'm telling him to do. That means regardless of what I'm trying to do for myself, regardless of what I've set up for myself, regardless of what I think should be happening, I'm gonna let God's will happen, and I'm gonna be happy and satisfied with that. It was amazing to me because, like I said, I love watching nature. It reflects who we are a lot, regardless if we understand it or not. And it really reflects who we are and how our life goes. And the other day, so another update, it's springtime now. The vernal equinox was March the 20th, the other Sunday ago. And so, you know, of course, here I go. Vernal equinox means the first day of spring, y'all. Sorry for my big geeky words. I'm really like a geek when it comes time to stuff. So, yeah, so we had the first day of spring, and we had some really nice weather that week. We had some 60-degree weather. We had some nice sunny skies, and we had some warm weather, and it was so beautiful. And then like 2 days later, it was like snow squalling and stuff. And I was just like, so I thought it was springtime, like why is it snowing? And mind you, I've been watching the trees, I've been watching the plants in the ground. There's been things sprouting up and coming back to life. The trees are budding, there's some leaves on certain trees, there's blossom trees that have already been blossoming, and it's snowing. So I'm a little concerned. And so this is what I mean when it could be your season, but things get in your way, right? And so check this out. It's springtime. Technically, it's not really supposed to be snowing no more. The weather can still fluctuate. It can be very cold like it has been. It can be very warm like it has been. But that's kind of what comes with this new chapter of the year. The first few stages of a new season. It's kind of getting rid of what was and coming into what is. And it's not always gonna be strictly winter, spring. Like, it's never like that. It's never like that. Of course, me living here for my entire life, I know that for a fact. It can snow up until April 30th if it wanted to. But, I mean, I hope it doesn't, but I know that this can happen. And either way, even though it says it's springtime, it could still snow, which isn't really a springtime event. So it is what it is. It doesn't mean that spring's not gonna come. It doesn't mean that it's not springtime. It doesn't mean that it's not gonna work out. It just means that this is the season we're coming into. And sometimes things get in the way of what we're stepping into. The devil likes to play this trick on us that we're not doing what we're supposed to do. We're not doing well. We're not good enough. We're not adequate enough to do what God has called us to do in due season. And in reality, he's just trying to prevent us from experiencing the blessings in this new season. Can you believe it? God says he's doing a new thing. He's creating a new season, a new chapter in our lives. And yes, it might be new to us, but it's nothing new to him. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going to happen. So all we have to do is trust him. All we have to do is trust God and believe that he's going to take care of us like he did in our last season. That's why we're going into our new season. So what happened was I got this inspiration, and I actually have a post about it on Instagram. But I was watching the snow fall, right? And there was this little flower that came up out the ground, right? And the snow was kind of just covering it. And I felt a little like stressed out for the flower because I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm pretty sure you thought this was your time. But, you know, it's snowing and you're probably looking like, why? Why me? Why now? But in reality, the flower's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's blossoming. Why? Because it's time for it to. Just because you have a stumbling block or just because there's something that got in your way doesn't mean you can't blossom, that you can't bloom. That's not what that means. Like I said, there's gonna be some seasons of your life where you're doing the most and you're kind of working against God instead of working with Him, because what you're trying to do is not what His will was for you originally. And sometimes we get confused because we go into things without praying, we go into things without talking to God, we go into things without confirmation, and it's just like, well, I thought this is what I was supposed to be doing, so why is it not happening the way it's supposed to happen? Because you're not doing it according to God's will. That's why. But what happens when we do things according to God's will and things still get in our way, things still trip us up, things still happen, and it's just like, okay, so I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. God said go. Why is it still looking like it's saying stop? I don't understand. And so I'm watching the snow cover this flower. And it's funny because the next morning, now we didn't really get like an accumulation of snow. It was just like bad weather for travel at the moment, let's just say, because that does make a difference on travel. The skies it's like a low visibility rate and all this other stuff that happens. So, of course, that's something we had to take in consideration at the moment. By the next morning, the flower was still there and it had opened up even more. I'm sitting there like, wow, you really endured that little fake snowstorm we had yesterday, and you're bigger now than you were yesterday. And sometimes God just wants us to trust Him, even in those storms, even in those seasons where it's like, okay, I'm blossoming, but everything's getting in my way, everything's trying to shadow over me, everything's trying to trip me up. And I made a post on Instagram, and my post says, she's like the flowers that stand in the snow. Nothing can stop her in her season. And I was really inspired by that because it's true. When God says this is your time and it's time for you to rise up, there's nothing that's going to be able to stop you. Things will try to stop you. Things will try to get in your way. But I need you to understand that when you trust in God, no matter what's going on, no matter what's getting in your way, it will manifest. It will come to pass. Things are going to work out for you. We have to understand and trust that God, that no matter what it looks like, it's about what it is. God is good. He always has been good, and He always will be good. So God's gonna take good care of you, even in the seasons where you think that it's not time for you to step out yet, where it's time for you to come out and blossom, and this is your moment. God has finally given you what you've been praying for, and things start to seem like this is not what I thought it was. Trust and believe that if you trust in God, if you continuously stay in prayer, stay steadfast in prayer, that God's going to deliver you. He's going to clear paths and make them straight, and you're going to be on your way. No matter what happens, no matter what snowstorms come during your spring season, just remember that God is with you always. And I hope that that blesses you today, because there's so many times in our life, like I said, these past few weeks have been kind of up and down, and I've just been trying to find the balance in all of it. The balance in all of it is God. You have to go through that current moment to get to that next blessing that God has been trying to give you. I'm telling you, there's no way you can avoid it. God's not going to tell you, okay, we're going to skip this part. God's like, no, we're going to go through this part, because when you come out of it, you're going to be stronger. You're going to have more wisdom. You're going to have more knowledge. You're going to be able to help them understand how to go through their seasons. See, God's just not trying to make things easy for you. He's trying to raise you up to be something worth being. He's trying to make you something and someone that people can trust, that people can look up to, that people can identify with and say, wow, you know, I'm inspired by her. I'm inspired by him. God's trying to create in us a stronger individual than we were yesterday. Guess what? In a few months, we'll be stepping into a whole new season. And so that's what happens. We continuously grow. We continuously get better. We continuously go through certain things that make it feel like it's killing us, but in reality, it's helping us to catapult towards what we're coming into, who we're supposed to be, who we should be, a better version of ourselves. I hope this encouraged you today. I really do. I love talking to you guys, but better yet, I love professing and proclaiming who God really is and what He's doing in our lives. Sometimes it gets lost in the sauce. We see so much going on in the world. We have war, we have strife, we have tribulation, we have death, we have mourning, we have destruction, all kind of stuff that really will take us away from seeing the goodness of God. And in reality, God's goodness doesn't go anywhere. We just get distracted by what's going on around us. And and we forget that God really is good, even when we're going through something that's really bad. You know what I mean? And so I hope this encourages somebody today. If you're going through a hard time, if you're going through a moment or a season in your life to where it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to look towards. Look towards God. Look and trust in God completely and wholeheartedly. And so as we step into this new season with all these new opportunities and these new paths we're taking and these new journeys we're embarking on, I'm praying for you guys. I hope you're praying for me too. There goes a lot into just being who you are, but even more goes into being who you are called to be. And I feel like when we're going through those seasons in our life, and we're going through those journeys and those rough times where it's like, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to turn, I don't know where to go next, that we need to encourage each other. We need to be there for each other. We need to be able to uplift each other and say, you're gonna do it, you're gonna make it. And it might be hard right now, but I'm promising you, you're gonna make it, and you're gonna be looking back on this like, I did that. You know, God, thank you for being with me because you did that for me. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's so much that's been going on and so much that has taken place for me personally that since the last time I spoke to you guys, since the last time I seen you guys. And I'm really grateful for everything, even the times where I cried, even the times where I couldn't sleep, where I couldn't eat, where I wasn't feeling well, and the days where I celebrated, the days where I triumphed, where I rejoiced, and I looked like nothing ever bad happened to me. Those days are just as important as your bad days. So don't throw them away. There's a purpose for your pain, and that's all I got for you guys today. Please do not forget to follow me on Instagram. Some of y'all, you know, I don't know if you know, but you can follow me. It's all right. You can follow me. Follow me at _Jesus lives in her _7. That's _Jesus lives in her _7. You know it's me, Alaija Bennett, aka the K7ngdom Babe. But yes, please do follow me on Instagram. Hit me up, tell me you're viewing the show, tell me how you like it, chat with me. I'm always open to talking to you guys. I'm always open to speaking with you guys. I love talking to you guys. Thank you for the ones of you who have reached out so far and told me how you like the show. I really appreciate it. It really makes me feel like I'm something, you know, because I'm in America and you guys are in Jamaica, and it feels like this isn't even real because it's not on TV where I am, so I don't know. But in reality, like in a whole different country, y'all, it's booming apparently. You guys continuously show your love. Follow me on Instagram. Chat with me. I'm always here for it. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. Until then, K7ngdom Babe out.